Okay, theory time before we start this. We've learned some things about our boy ADAGE, right? So, I'm wondering, based on his comments, and what we've learned in the game so far to this point, I would assume that ADAGE's father was probably a doctor. It seems like people in the Heights followed in the career paths of their fathers, at least until they were married. I think the guys continue in that line of work, but the women step back once they get married. So I would assume ADAGE probably followed in his dad's footsteps to become a doctor. It's not a hard and fast rule, but for the sake of argument, let's say that's the case. The other thing is that he questions his decisions regarding medical procedures, like, all the time. Like, I can't save this person, I don't know enough. So I would assume he lost somebody while he was a doctor, before he came down to the Heights. I'm assuming possibly he fell in love with somebody and wasn't able to save them. And that's why there isn't a couple that was sent down to the Sanctuary District. It was just him. And maybe he was making irrational decisions as a doctor, trying to save the person he was in love with. And it became obvious, maybe to his father, who may have reported that to the authorities. Because he said that there's, not all kids have good relationships with their parents. So I wonder if his dad sold him out, he lost someone he cared about, and that's why he's like, I need to become a better doctor so I can save just like one more life. That's my theory right now for why he's down here. I don't know if that's true, but that's just my thought process right now. So we'll see how close I am by the time we finish chipping away at this boy's trust layer. Like, come on, tell me what happened to you, boy. Alright, let's continue. My workload began to increase after the next day. During the day, I tended to the vegetable garden, and at night I helped ADAGE around the house. Whenever I had time, I practiced cooking. That's another thing. I wonder if he was involved with somebody who was a really good cook, and he tried to replicate her cooking and couldn't do that either, and just eventually was like, this sustains me, I'm not gonna bother learning anymore. I actually forgot to mention that too. Like, he's like, oh, are you gonna grieve and just live in the past? Like, grief doesn't do anything. So I think he's still grieving, even if he doesn't admit it to himself. Even cutting up the ingredients was difficult for me. The taste wasn't there either. Still, I felt that I was slowly becoming a better cook. You got this, girl. ADAGE began to leave the house without me from time to time. That wasn't especially remarkable. He'd always worked alone, after all. Every once in a while, injured or sick patients came to us to be treated. When he left the house without me, I was in charge of it. You guys really are married now. I wouldn't have been able to help him if I'd accompanied him anyway. It was clearly best for me to remain behind. I know it's the best solution, but I wondered why I felt so lonely while he was gone. Aww. No, I shouldn't think about it. I need to attend to my chores around the house. Yes, this looks good. Once I was comfortable with gardening, I began to grow vegetables in the garden. They were just small tomatoes, though. Not small potatoes, small tomatoes. I need to start pruning them if I want them to grow properly. What should I keep? Oh no. Something moved through the undergrowth. It was a lizard. The vile beast was watching me. No, I don't think it's really watching me, but I certainly felt as if it was looking at me, and that made me nervous. I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I still don't like them. The occasional flickers of its red tongue freaked me out.
Well, if that isn't a surprise.
Hi? I am curious too. Somebody, when we first started this, can't remember who said this, but remarked that ADAGE and Glissade look a little similar. And now that I'm looking at Glissade, I'm like, you know, I kind of see it. I do really kind of see it. And he's also a doctor. Oh boy. What are you doing here? I am not pleased to see you.
I'm surprised you dislike lizards.
Glissade!
Long time no see.
I stood up and walked over to meet him. Yes, you look well.
As do you. Your blood flow looks good and your skin is beautiful.
Thank you. What brings you here?
I came to check on you.
How did you know I was here? On me?
Yes. I didn't see you for a while, so I was afraid you might have died. I heard a rumor the other day that you were living on the outskirts of the town. I decided to come over while I was in the area.
A rumor?
Yes. I didn't know where you lived exactly, though, so I'm glad I could meet you.
I see. Thank you for stopping by. A rumor? I wonder who spread it.
Oh, that's right. I want to ask you something. May I take a blood sample from you?
That's not creepy or out of the blue at all. What was the thing about her blood again? I know they talked about it early on, but I've completely forgotten. I'm gonna have to go back after this. There was something weird about her blood, like it doesn't heal? She could get poisoned or something? I can't remember. It's just gone. A blood sample?
Yes. I want to know whether you're healthy. It worried me when I never saw you collect the medicine.
Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot about the medicine. But as you can see, I'm very healthy.
You might be on the outside, but the illness it treats can strike us down at any moment, and we die without warning. I'm a doctor, and I want to save any life I can.
Glissade. Save any life I can. That was much like ADAGE. Perhaps all doctors live by that creed. Alright, please collect your blood sample. ADAGE, please come in and slap this boy.
Thank you very much. Don't worry, it won't take long.
Glissade produced an empty syringe and checked the needle. With his other hand, he touched my arm and looked for a vein on the inside of my elbow.
It will hurt a little.
Red blood was drawn up into the syringe.
There, that's all. Thank you.
Glissade put the syringe into a special container and applied a small gauze to the wound. Well, hopefully ADAGE sees that and is like, what the hell? He held the gauze down and wrapped bandages around it. The bleeding stopped quickly. Wow, he's so skillful. They had taught us first aid procedures as police officers, and I had helped ADAGE with bandages as well. It had always taken me much longer to apply bandages, and it looked much cruder.
Well then, goodbye. Oh, I almost forgot. Here.
Glissade pulled out a small bag and handed it to me. What is this?
Medicine for the people from the heights.
Still sus about that medicine. Don't you need to be paid for this?
No need for that. But please make sure you take it.
Okay, I will. Glissade smiled and said goodbye, then he left. Medicine, huh? Glissade had recommended it, but I was reluctant to take something I didn't know the true nature of. I'm quite healthy. There's no reason to take it. Besides, I was living with ADAGE, a doctor. He could look at me if it was necessary. Also consider the fact that he hasn't given you any of this medicine. Sorry, Glissade. I'll only take this once I feel sick. Alright, time to attend to my tomatoes. I looked at the patch. The lizard had disappeared. That's good. Now I don't have to worry about it when I work. The rays of the sun warmed my back as I resumed work in the vegetable garden. I don't like any of that. A few days passed. ADAGE had sent me to the Sanctuary District in order to buy ingredients for medicine. I had all the usual ingredients. I was only waiting on the more unusual items. A rat's tail. What does he need that for? I wasn't sure whether I wanted to know. The shopkeeper returned as I pondered this strange situation. Here we go. I have what you need. Oh, thank you. Good. She put it in the bag and I can't see the contents. Do you want to check that the number is correct? It's all right. I'll trust you. All right. Is my sweet ADAGE doing well? Yes, thank you. My sweet ADAGE. I had to smile at the cute way she talked about him. That's a nice smile. ADAGE must be happy he has such a cute wife now. By the way... The shopkeeper stepped forward and whispered. How is it going at night? At night? Yeah. Is he good at it? Good? At night? I wondered what she was talking about. People usually get robbed at night, so she must be talking about fighting. ADAGE probably can't fight. Sweet baby Cyrus, no! No. If anything, I'm better. Oh, that surprises me a little. Such a cute face, and look what it hides. The shopkeeper laughed and slapped me on the back. I think the first one needs to be a boy. Let's hope you can give that to ADAGE, shall we? The first one. Did I misunderstand the situation? Excuse me. By the way, did you hear about all the kidnappings? Kidnappings? Yeah, and all of them apparently young women or children. Someone is going after them. It's horrible, isn't it? You need to be careful too. Yes, thank you. Just like Rylith and Merlot. Young women and children. Is that what happened to Rylith and Merlot? I wanted to avenge them if I could. But there's nothing I can do without a sword. I resolved to be careful. Thanks for the warning, lady. Yep, those are all the supplies I need. Let's go back to ADAGE's. Ah! What was that scream? And what is that? More noise was coming from one of the back streets. I wanted to know what was happening. Is it a kidnapping? I wasn't able to do anything unarmed, but nobody else was going to help them. Okay, let's go. I need to be careful. Runs towards Scream. It was over here. I saw hounds' uniforms and hid. I only poked my head out to see what was happening. I'm sorry. Please let me go. Like hell I'm going to do that.
Be nice to him. Children are the future or something, right? Nice joke. Some criminal brat isn't anybody's future.
Ah! This is horrible. I have to hurry up and save his life. But I had no sword. I have to convince them to stop. Oh gosh, woman. I hid the supplies in the shadows. That should work. They were from the hounds, but they weren't Saxon. Perhaps I was able to talk them out of it. I need to be careful that I don't provoke them. Hoping for the best, I approach them openly. Well, here we go. I'm sorry. May I ask what's happening here?
Who are you?
I live here. I heard screams and came to investigate. What's happening?
This brat here.
The boy, noticing that the man from the hounds was distracted, jumped up and ran towards me. A different man grabbed him as he ran past.
Nope, you're not getting away.
Let me go! What did the boy do?
He's a thief. Tried to steal from us. He needs to be taught manners.
I see. Theft. That seems only fair. He must have tried to steal something important.
Pretty much. It's definitely pearls before swine for this cur.
Still, he's only a child. Will you show him mercy?
Mercy? Absolutely not. Theft is a disease. If they think they can get away with it, they'll do it again and never stop. We have to correct his behavior.
Correct. I don't think I can convince them to let him go. I suppose I can accept that then. Would you let me punish him as well?
You?
I nodded and approached the man holding the boy. If he hadn't attempted to steal, we wouldn't have this disturbance in our neighborhood. He's disturbed the peace. A few scars should remind him of his misdeed.
You've got a great personality, even if you don't look like it. Sure, here.
He's like, I think I'm in love. The man drew his sword and handed it to me. Did I need a sword for scars? I mean, thank you, now I can stab you both, I guess. Thank you very much. No! Stop! Really? I'm sorry I tricked you.
Ah!
I turned around and ran the man in front of me to the ground. That went well. I need to act before they can regroup. I raised my sword to strike the other man. Whoop! The man I thought I had pushed to the ground was holding back my arm. The sword fell to the ground. Well, that was monumentally stupid.
Huh. I thought you were planning something.
I haven't lost yet! I twisted myself out of the man's restraining hold and grabbed the sword lying on the ground. I had a sword, but the men from the hounds were unhurt. I won't be able to escape if they call their friends. I need an opening.
Enough. You.
That voice. No way, Finn? I would never have forgotten that voice. Finn? Is that you? Oh my god, Finn, hi! So how's it been? What's new with me? Well, you know, I got married, and apparently I'm having a boy soon, so... But yeah, how you been doing? It's been a while, Cyrus. Our time apart had seemingly made my partner even more physically robust. His presence was tall and imposing. And he was wearing a hound's uniform. You became a member of the hounds? Yes. Why the skirmish here? I wanted to rescue the boy they're holding. Theft is unacceptable, but that's not reason enough for adults to gang up on him and abuse him. I see. You, let him go.
What? But...
Are you deaf? Let him go. What rank are you in the hounds, by the by?
Fine. Here.
The boy, released by the hounds, dropped down onto the ground. I ran over to check on him. You're injured. Someone needs to look at this. We can go to the hound's headquarters. The doctor will treat him if asked. The hounds. It seemed wrong to me to go to the headquarters of the people who provoked it all. No, it's all right. I will take him to my home and have him treated there.
Where do you live?
Well, I wanted to tell him, but the other men of the hounds were still there. Finn smiled.
Don't worry about them. I'll tell them to keep it a secret.
Really? Was Finn always like this? Something seems off. I thought about it and eyed the men from the hounds. They stood there wordlessly, observing me and Finn. I live on the outskirts of the Sanctuary District. There's an old residential district there. I live in a house with a red roof together with other people.
I see. May I come to see you?
Yes. I don't mind. I thought about ADAGE. As long as I tell him about it, I don't think he will be angry with me. Finn was my old partner and my friend. If he wanted to see me, that seemed only fair to me.
Thank you very much. See you later.
Yes. Thank you, Finn. Oh, the sword. I couldn't keep borrowing it. I walked over to the man I had gotten it from. You can have the sword back. He grabbed my wrist as he sheathed the sword.
Try that again and I'll cut you down.
I left without a word. There was no point in talking back. Besides, Finn probably heard that, and that guy's gonna be dead in 5 minutes. I gestured for the boy to follow me. I picked up the bags I had hidden in the shadows, and we headed back to the main road. I didn't expect to meet Finn there. And he was a member of the Hounds now. No, I shouldn't be surprised. I knew what would happen to him. I recalled the explanation I had gotten about Hounds recruits. Police officers always worked in pairs. If one of them was dishonorably discharged, then the other was also discharged and assigned to the Hounds. The rule came into play and they sent Finn here. Why did I convince myself that it hadn't happened to him? He wasn't an exception. I told him I would come back to him, and this is how we meet. I felt guilty and turned around. He saw me look back, smiled, and waved his hand. It made me happy to see him smile the way he always had. I hope he doesn't hate me for it. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I decided I was going to ask him when he came to visit me. I wanted to know what had happened to him since our goodbye in the Heights. Alright, back to this guy and his perspective on things. Here we go. Buckle up.
She's finally gone. Cyrus had turned around a number of times before disappearing onto the main road. I've met her again. She said she'd return to me, and she has. I was filled with happiness and wrath. I didn't want to meet her again like this, but perhaps I was meant to. I lowered my head. Then slowly I looked over at the other men. 1, 2, 3. I glared at them to keep them rooted to the spot. What were you doing here?
It was the brat's fault. He tried to steal what I was carrying. We were going to punish him.
That's not my question. I drew my sword and slashed across his stomach.
Nah!
I don't care about your reasons.
Yeah!
And the second. This one I stabbed straight through the chest. He was dead almost instantly. I don't care about your lives. And lastly... Want to live?
I want to live. I'll do anything. Let me go.
Anything, huh?
Maybe I'll take you up on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I'll kill you too. But not right away.
Gah!
How dare you touch her with your filthy hands? Not even I have touched her. Doesn't that seem very wrong? You don't have the right to do that, do you?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You made a mistake, right?
Yes, I made a mistake.
Yes, a mistake. Good boy, acknowledging your mistake. Well done. But it's not enough to live. I'll cut off your arms first. You need to atone for touching Cyrus.
God damn, man. Sheesh.
The right arm, then the left arm. The sword Cyrus had chosen for me cut through muscles, sinew, and bone. Oh, you were also talking to Cyrus, weren't you?
I wasn't.
Don't lie. Be honest.
I was.
Good. I mean, not good.
Gah!
I wanted to cut through his larynx, but misjudged the force of the strike. His head came almost completely off. Oh. Sorry. I promised I would take my time. I flicked away the blood on my sword. I could hear breathing and the sound of something dragging across the ground. Oh, I see. I walked over and stamped my foot down on him.
Gah!
Where are you trying to crawl away to? You know that you can't escape. I changed to a two-handed grip and ran my sword through his back.
Gah!
My sword is coated in poison. We used to do that as police officers, don't you remember? It has paralyzing effects, and it produces infections. It's a fairly horrible poison. Originally, I used it to knock out suspects. Well, why am I telling a corpse all this? I slowly pulled the sword free from the man's lifeless shell of flesh and bone. This time I killed them. This time I killed them all. The ones who wanted to hurt Cyrus. I'll see her again. Finally, I'll see her again. Again. I'll see her soon. I waited for so long. I wanted to see her. I was looking for so long. Looking for you. For you. No, 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 no. This is our long-awaited reunion. I can't show up drenched in blood. I'll go back to headquarters and change into clean clothes. Then I'll bring her flowers. She'll like that. It's going to be so wonderful.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for going home and getting cleaned up, and the flowers is a nice thought. But, have you considered therapy? Ahem. Well, ADAGE, no hugging, no hand-holding, no kissing within the next couple days. Just on the safe side. Just, ixnay on that.
ADAGE!
What's wrong? What happened?
He was attacked by the hounds in a side street. Help him!
Okay, I'll do it. Take him into the medical room.
All right. But don't worry. The man is going to look at the pain. The boy looked back and forth between me and ADAGE. Then, having made up his mind, he walked with me. I lifted him up onto the examination table.
Bruises. A sprain.
Ouch!
Don't be a wimp. And...
Without wasting a moment, ADAGE examined the boy. I held the boy's hand, trying to reassure him, and told him he was going to be alright. Can you save him?
Of course. He's not in danger.
Good. Good.
Yeah!
How did he get these injuries? Other than the commander, not even the hounds attack children for no reason.
Well...
The boy looked at me pleadingly. I encouraged him to tell the truth.
My family has no money. I wanted to do something for my father and tried to steal something.
And you picked the hounds?
Yeah, they're the bad guys. Stealing from them is okay.
For your father. You're an idiot.
Definitely father issues there. ADAGE.
Did he tell you to do it? Did your father tell you to do it? He didn't, right? You shouldn't have done that. You made a goddamn mistake.
But...
ADAGE! He's still young. Don't be so harsh with him.
Children don't understand what's going on around them. You have to explain it to them.
Yes, but... It's not like you to be so angry with him. Why did you do that?
I didn't do anything unusual. I was being myself. Perfectly in control.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, don't steal. It doesn't matter who you're stealing from.
Why? Not even from really, really bad guys?
No, not even from them. If you do that, you're a bad guy yourself. The only reason you're alive is because we have this idiot here who keeps poking her nose into other people's business. Without her, you might be dead.
What? It was something of an insult, but I couldn't respond.
If you die, your parents will be sad as well. Do you want to make them sad? If not, then stop trying to steal.
Okay.
I don't think you really understand. Hand me that ointment.
Okay, here.
For his father, huh?